Guys, so we have multiple breaking news coming out. We're gonna start with this one first, and it says here Putin promised a stunning response to Tomahawk missile strike on Russia or any other attempts to launch long-range weapons deep into its territory. Retired colonel, a military observer for Gazeta Ru, discusses what this response might look like and what stages it would involve. So there's a lot of news coming out that there's a possibility Tomahawk might be, they could send Tomahawk to Ukraine. So there is a warning, a very, very important warning here. As soon as dawn breaks in Europe, what Russia's stunning response might be. All right, so at the same time, we got this news coming out. The Kiev Independent has posted this today, October 26th, 2025, and it says here, I'm not going to be wasting my time. Trump rules out Putin meeting with Ukraine peace progress. So all these are very important updates. We're going to get to both of these news. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you again for your support. Your support truly helps out. Do me a favor, guys, share the video if you can on your YouTube post, or share it on your platform like Facebook and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Last night my wife messaged the people that used to watch our videos 2 years ago, and she messaged, I think it was like 300, responded to 300 comments, and a lot of people responded and said, Louis, I'm not seeing your videos. I'm not seeing your videos, and I'm glad that you messaged me. I forgot all about you. So it's really sad what the platform has done. They've really put us under the rug. I mean, that's crazy. That is absolute crazy. So out of 300, we got like 70 response, and a lot of people are saying that ever since I sent them comments, now they're seeing my videos popping up in their subscription box. That is absolute crazy. So that's the reason why our views went down 90%. That is sick. All right, so again, guys, you know me, I post videos every day. Follow me on X and also Telegram. U.S. Commander-in-Chief said on October 25th that he does not plan to meet with Vladimir unless he sees a clear path to a peace agreement between the bear and Crane. Now, we're going to have to know that we are going to make a deal. I'm not going to be wasting my time, the U.S. president told reporters aboard Air Force One. I've always had a great relationship with Putin, but this here has been very disappointing. Now, the U.S. commander said he had expected peace in Ukraine to be easier to achieve than other diplomatic breakthroughs. I thought this would have gone long before peace in the Mideast, but if you look at India and Pakistan, I could say out almost any one of the deals that I've already done, I thought would have been more difficult than Russia and Ukraine, but it didn't work out that way. There's a lot of hatred between the two, between Zelensky and Putin. There's tremendous hatred. And Joe allowed it to happen. Joe basically opened the fence, the door, and these two pit bulls started going at it. All right, so it says here, 2 days earlier, the White House press secretary said a U.S. commander and Putin summit remains not completely off the table. Now, the president has also long expressed his frustration with Putin and, frankly, both sides of this war. Now, he's also said in order to negotiate a good peace deal, both sides need to be interested in a good peace deal. That's not going to happen. It says here the press secretary said on October 23rd. Now, she added that the president has seen not enough interest and enough action from Russia to move towards peace. Well, I think Donald made the right decision. If there's no like peace agreement to end the war, there's no point of going to Budapest. Now, once again, the president and the entire administration hopes that one day that would happen again. But we want to make sure that there's a tangible, positive outcome out of that meeting, and that it's a good use of the president's time, she added. Now, once again, the press secretary comments came a day after Washington imposed its first sanction on Moscow since the U.S. commander took office on October 22nd. Once again, the U.S. sanctions Russia, two largest oil company. Give me a second here, guys. Alright, guys. I truly apologize. My dog was barking. And there are multiple cats in the neighbor's backyard. And some of those cats, I mean, they don't do nothing, but you guys know dogs, they bark. And so I had to let my dogs in. So I truly apologize. Alright, so once again, it says here, lost track on this one, the president and the entire administration hopes that one day that could happen again. But we want to make sure that there's a tangible, positive outcome out of that meeting. And it's a good use of the president's time. Now, once again, the press secretary comments came a day after Washington imposed its first sanction on Moscow. Since the U.S. president took office on October 22nd, the U.S. sanctions Russia's two largest oil company, Rosneft and Lukoil, as well as their subsidiaries. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the measures aim to pressure the Kremlin into accepting a ceasefire, and now it's the time to stop the killing and for an immediate ceasefire, he said. I don't see that happening, guys. Slapping sanctions on Rosneft and a Lukoil company. I don't see that stopping the bear from their military operation in Ukraine. Alright, so we're going to go with the next news. That's basically it for this one here. So we're going to go with the next one. But again, the president is not pleased. Today, this was his update. He said he's not pleased. It's a waste of time going to Budapest. Now we're going to go with this next news. As soon as dawn breaks in Europe, what Russia's stunning response might be. Colonel responds to Tomahawk missile strike could consist of 3 stages. Let's see what's going on here. So Russia will respond very strongly, if not overwhelmingly, to long-range strike. So Kiev and its allies should consider whether to take such a step, said Putin, Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Armed Forces. Now, speaking at a press conference in Brussels, Ukrainian leader Zelensky suggested that Kiev will soon receive Tomahawk, despite the fact that negotiations with the U.S. have stalled. It is important to emphasize that the excessive insistence of Kiev's military political leadership on this issue and the possible equipping of the Ukrainian armed forces with cruise missiles of this type will inevitably lead to a stunning response from the bear. Yeah, that is not good. The question is, who's gonna get hit? again, I know Crane is going to get hit, but I do believe the bear will respond, and this could activate Article 5 NATO. So, a three-step answer. The question arises, what might such a response from Moscow look like? Such a strike will likely not involve anything radically new, anything not previously discussed. A stunning response could take the form of a strategic operation which would involve both general purpose forces and strategic nuclear forces of the Bear Armed Forces, land, sea, and air based, and parts of the troops' forces equipped with operational tactical nuclear. All right, so that's not good. From the aerospace forces and the Navy with a range of both over 500 kilometers and up to that point. Yeah, that's not good. That's the reason why Donald has not sent those Tomahawks yet. The expected composition of troops forces involved may look like this: ground-based strategic nuclear forces, airborne strategic nuclear forces, air units with operational tactical nuclear weapons, naval strategic nuclear forces, submarines with SLCMs, formations and unit of special forces, formations of operational tactical missiles of the missile forces and artillery. The goals of such an operation are extremely clear: to prevent the escalation of the armed conflict in Ukraine at an early stage of its development by the West. If we assume as a first approximation a possible schedule for preparing and delivering a strike on priority targets, also known as a stunning response, then it cannot be ruled out that the structure of the strike and the order of delivering the strike themselves may look as follow. So at the first stage, it is planned to carry out strikes with air and sea-based cruise missiles against enterprises producing weapons for Ukraine on the territory of NATO, member states only in conventional equipped and at night by strategic bombers of long-range aviation and multi-purpose nuclear submarines of the Navy. As soon as dawn breaks in Western Europe, the second stage of the stunning response will begin. Again, that doesn't sound good. So the launch of demonstration nuclear strike by the Bear strategic nuclear forces. This is what if they get hit with Tomahawks. The Bear response will be brutal. These will be carried out in the form of single or group launches of ballistic and cruise missiles with nuclear warheads. Man. To clearly demonstrate the potential of Russia's strategic nuclear forces. In this regard, single or group strikes against oceans or uninhabited areas are possible. High-altitude nuclear explosions of low yield or high yield, depending on the situation, over enemy territory are also possible. If such action by the Russian armed forces failed to bring the military political leadership of the collective West to its senses, then the third stage of the overwhelming response will begin. It will tentatively consist of two parts. The first was the launching of tactical nuclear strike on a block of Gov buildings in Kiev, including the office of the leader of Crane, the building of the Verkhovna Rada, and a complex of buildings of the Ministry of Defense of Crane. The second, if the first part does not work, is the destruction of the Dnieper hydroelectric power station cascade and reservoirs with special nuclear munition, the destruction of all road and railway bridges across the Dnieper, including 9 bridge crossings in Kiev. During the third stage, the use of special munition is possible both on the territory of Ukraine and subsequently on territory of NATO member states if the measures taken fail to prevent a possible escalation of military actions. Like I say, guys, this is if the bear gets hit with Tomahawk missiles. They could respond with either of those options. Like I said, this is the reason why Donald has not sent those Tomahawk. It is also possible, along with the demonstration nuclear strike, to receive what is called a compliment from the Supreme Commander-in-Chief Putin to detonation, for example, at Point Nemo, or the oceanic pole of inaccessibility in the Pacific Ocean, of a 2M39 Poseidon nuclear torpedo, in order to clearly demonstrate the capability of the Naval Strategic Force nuclear forces. None of this is Moscow soil initiative. It's just one possible response to the West escalation of the armed conflict in Ukraine. In other words, our actions are purely defensive. This is a very powerful article here. Once again, as soon as dawn breaks in Europe, what the bear's stunning response might be. And it seems like nuclear. And I just posted a video not too long ago. Let me just show you the title really quick here. If you can, like the video, subscribe. I really appreciate it, guys. I think I lost it. Hold on. Here we go. This is a video I just posted. The bare massive nuclear arsenal in Arctic pointed at US. Alright, so you do have Defcon alert going on here, guys. And even Germany, you have, I think the UK is kind of discussing giving nuclear to Germany. So we are definitely seeing a lot of stuff here, guys. A lot of stuff is happening, and at the same time today, Donald, he's not pleased. I'm not going to be wasting my time with Putin. Donald rules out Putin meeting without Ukraine peace progress. The question is, what's next now? Oh, again, the next thing that's happening, everybody's preparing. You got all these bunkers preparation. Population out there in Europe are being told to stock up and have emergency supplies ready. You have conscriptions. You have a mandatory draft going on. Multiple countries across Europe is doing the mandatory draft. So we are definitely seeing a lot of preparation. We're not seeing dialogue anymore. There's no coming to the round table. Meetings are being canceled. What we are witnessing is a preparation. This is Defcon alert. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Till next time later. Peace.